everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Dallas Basics. Thanks so much for joining. It's great to have you here. And I sound like Shmee from, I don't know. Okay, anyways. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. We are already well on our way to August. Just wild. Absolutely crazy. We start swim back on Monday. And my son starts football for high school. Okay. All my children are going to be in high school. If you want to see a mom meltdown, just come on over. Just pull up a chair on my front lawn and you're just going to see a whole meltdown, which is awesome. So, okay. So we are talking, if you are going to be joining us, because I'm dropping my goodies, here is the wait list for classes in session. This is a 30-day accountability challenge. It starts August 31st. It is $30 for you to join. And what you get access to, obviously, is me and my app. You get to choose your own, program that you want to do your training session with. Totally awesome. You'll get, hello. So this is for a woman that is on a GLP-1 and has no idea what they're supposed to be doing in the gym, or they're not doing what they need to be doing, which is strength training. This is for a woman that goes into the gym but has no idea if what she's doing is actually working and or making sense for herself. Okay, this is for you. This is also for a woman who, as you are over the age of 40 and you are not strength training to either preserve or create muscle mass onto your body for longevity of health and life, you better get with it, because I should not be the first one here, if you scroll social media, telling you that this is absolutely the most important thing that you can be doing, not just for your longevity of health, but for hormonal health, for sexual health, for metabolic health, for managing your blood pressure, cholesterol, your A1C, all these things. Hello, welcome. You need to get with it. Okay. Anyways, so you can join us at classes in session. Please don't give me the fucking thing that, oh, my kids are starting school. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if they're starting school. Welcome. So are mine. Hi. Hello there. I love you, but welcome to the fucking club. It's busy. September's busy. Good. Fucking figure it out when life is hell, chaotic, and all the things. And you can do it in the easiest season of your life. And then you'll prove to yourself you can also do it in the hardest season. So speaking of hard seasons in life, let's talk about my July accountability. Okay. After June, well, actually, let's just do like a full little recap here. So in April, I set up this little accountability challenge for myself, just for myself, not for anybody else, for me. And my goal was to track my steps to 10,000 steps. I wanted to hit 90% of my daily tracking every single day and 90 ounces of water every single day. So my steps were at 60%, my tracking was at 83%, and my water is at 76%. And in the month of April, I lost 2.5 pounds, which some of you would be like, that's not that much. Yes, it actually is. 0.5 pound a fucking week. So I did better than what the average is. Cool. That was April. Okay. May came, life got a little bit hard towards the end, but that was okay. We still kind of pulled it out of our ass a little bit. And so my steps went to 67%. So I increased my steps that month. My tracking fell off towards the end of the month and dropped almost 20% to 64. And my water also dropped by 2% and went down to 74%. I still lost 2.3 pounds. So that's still, again, over that average of 0.5 pound a week. So again, with all the bullshit that I took on, I'm still pretty proud of that. And the fact that I lost anything and pulled that out of my ass, I'm pretty impressed with myself. So then June came. And June was a wash. I did fucking nothing. I did not track my steps, my food, or my water. I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything. I didn't take measurements. I did nothing. And even with doing nothing, no tracking, no paying attention to my steps, no paying attention to my water, I still lost 1.1 pounds. And we're going to talk about this because it wasn't magic that it happened. It was just, I was probably just survival mode at that point. And obviously it was still in a calorie deficit because I still was able to lose average of that month 1.1 pounds, which is what, like a 1/4 pound a week or something, a 1/4 pounder. No, anybody else like McDonald's? I used to eat the shit out of those growing up. Okay. But life was still hard. I was still processing, but I was still kind of like obviously in the game a little bit mentally, even if it was subconscious. So July came. I'm like, okay, back on track, quote unquote. You're just picking right back up, and not as good as I wanted it to be. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's not as great as I wanted it to be. Could be better. And I got my steps back up to 68%, my tracking back up to 71%, and my water's at 90%. I was like, fuck yeah. July was hot, so water I don't think was a really big issue. But here's what I want to talk about. Even with tracking, paying attention to my steps, drinking my water, I showed up, I did the work, I tracked the food, and guess what? I gained this month 0.7 pounds, okay? And I want you to understand here, June, I did nothing. I lost 1.1. July, I did 71% of tracking and I gained 0.7 pounds. And I want to talk about that because I feel like a lot of women think, well, I'm tracking my food and I'm not losing weight. Cool. That doesn't mean you're in a calorie deficit. Just like this, it doesn't mean I was in a calorie deficit. It means that on days that I wasn't tracking, and even on some of the ones that I was over in calories of what my maintenance was. Period. Over the course of the month. At somewhere I was over calories and it made up for, or I don't want to say made up for, but it like unbalanced all the times that I was in a calorie deficit on a whole. Overall, my average for the month. Okay, well, that's a me problem. That's not because of tracking. That's because I did not do the things that I was supposed to do on even some of the days that I tracked, and then also on the days that I did not. Okay. So when we're looking at that, we have to get honest about this. I talked about this in the very last episode of that mini series about, awareness and curiosity. It's like, okay, what did I go over on days that I tracked? A couple of them, not many. And then obviously on the days that I didn't track, I was still probably over consuming at some point, just not overly paying attention. It doesn't mean that I wasn't it doesn't mean that I was 100% oblivious, but obviously I was still either thinking I didn't eat as much as I thought I did, or maybe I had too many days that I had some ice cream or something along those lines. Okay. And here's what I want you to get across is just because you're tracking doesn't equal a deficit. And just because you're tracking even more than 50% of the time, I was at 71, doesn't mean you can lose weight. Even 100% doesn't mean you're going to lose weight, right? So in June, when I lost 1.1 pounds without doing any tracking, I was still in a calorie deficit, period. There's no other way to explain that, but I was. And in July, obviously, I was not in a calorie deficit overall. I was eating enough to maintain or to actually gain 0.7 pounds. Now, in the grand scheme of things, ideally, that's going to come off pretty quickly here in August. Lock the fuck in. We're doing the things again. But it's very difficult sometimes to get over that idea of like, well, just because I'm tracking means I'm losing weight. It actually doesn't. Just because you think you're in a calorie deficit actually doesn't mean you are, right? So we have to understand that sometimes the thing that we think is the thing that's going to work, if we're not really honest about those things, or we're still not in a calorie deficit, guess what that means? It's not going to work, right? So what do we do from here? We are, going to go back into August, and we're starting already, and we're doing the same fucking things. We're doing the same fucking things. And you guys, I've been doing these things since April, May, June, July. August will be the fourth month. That'll be my fourth month, going into my fourth month, that I'm going to be doing the same fucking things that I was doing in April. Here's the problem too. One, you think you're going to be in a calorie deficit by tracking. That's not how that works. The second thing is, so many of you would already be like, never mind, I quit. I can't do this. See, June was a wash. Oh, I gained weight in July. Fuck it. Never mind. And the reality is you can't do that. You can't quit on yourself. Like, that's just not ideal. It's just not how this process works. So I'm going to have to honestly lock in. Oh, it's so easy. Just say lock in. It's not that easy. But I also know that if I want the result on the other side, I can't do what I did this month, which is half-ass what I did. What was the fucking point of me tracking anything if I'm just going to gain weight? What is the point? Absolutely nothing. Don't waste my time, Sarah. Don't waste my fucking time. Don't waste my time. Okay. So I have to understand that I have to be more consistent, period. And I have to be more consistent in a calorie deficit, period. I have to be more consistent to be in a calorie deficit. So here's where I'm telling you that you could feel like you're doing all the things and not lose weight if you're not in a deficit, right? You can track perfectly, still be in a surplus. You can work out, you can still gain weight. You can drink all this water, still gain weight, right? Because it's not about that, right? I actually started, and this could actually be some of it because I did put a new stimulus on my body this month. I started running back in July, like July 20th. So for almost the last 2 weeks, and I did notice my weight creep up. I also had a different cycle, if you will, which I'm going to talk about later on sometime down the road, my cycle was a little bit different this month. So it's like, there are definitely things that can change things. I'm not going to sit here and dissect like other reasons that this could have been a 0.7 pound weight gain. I'm going to go, I still didn't follow through the way I should have. That's the actual problem. That is the bigger issue of anything. So again, I did 71% of tracking. I did 90% water, 68 steps. That's the data. That's the information. And now I have to go forward and adjust. Okay. Because the reality is it's not going to be linear progress. Things are going to come up and down and 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 up and down. This is just the reality of life. So when life throws you, fucking shit, you have to turn your windshield wipers on and hope that you can see. Okay. And that's just how it's going to be. So that being said, August 31st is going to be a great opportunity for you to actually see how consistent are you doing the things that you think that you're doing and go from there. So you also will be able to get a macro, you can upgrade for a macro, I would call it a prescription if you want to. But like, if you want to know what your macros are, what I would set your macros to, but you would have the opportunity if you join in classes and sessions. So you can upgrade into that as well. So link is in the show notes for that. You can get on the wait list. And then, I'm excited, ready. We're hitting the ground running here in August, and here we go. I will see you in class. Don't be late. When the bell rings, your ass better be in the seat. Okay, bye.